how to use the fill command, setblock command, and Blockstates in Minecraft, Xbox, PlayStation, Pocket Edition, Switch, and PC. We'll start off with the basic fill command, then we'll get into more advanced features and functionality. This is going to be quite a long guide, so if you need to, you can skip to different parts in the chapters in the video description. First of all, you need to make sure you have show coordinates enabled in your Minecraft world. You can do this by going to settings and then game, and then scrolling down until you see the show coordinates button. Mine's already enabled, but if yours isn't, you will want to enable this. And then what you want to do is you want to go ahead and find the lowest part of your build and then mark it out, and then go diagonally opposite it and mark out the highest point of your build, as you will need both sets of these coordinates. So you want to stand on top of your lowest part of your build, face down, and then write these coordinates in the comment section of the video, and then you want to go over to the highest point and do the same. So write down the coordinates of your highest point facing down, and then you can go into chat and you can complete the fill command. But if you don't want to have to write down the coordinates manually, you don't have to anymore. You can go into your game settings in the creator tab and enable the copy coordinate UI, and this will allow you to copy coordinates in your Minecraft worlds. So using this method, what you'd want to do is go ahead and stand on top of the block like so, face down, then go into chat and type the fill command, so /fill, and then go ahead and hit this button up here that says the copy coordinates button. So it says my position here, you want to hit it, go to block position, and then you want to hit the copy button here and then hit paste. And then as you can see, you've got the first bit of the fill command. Then press whichever button it is to send messages in your chats. So in this case, I'm on Windows, so it is going to be enter. But for you, it might be a different button. And then go ahead and go to the other side, go to the highest point, and face down standing on top of it. And then if you are using the copy coordinate UI, you can go ahead and go to your block position, hit copy, hit paste again. However, what I'm going to do instead, as this is another method you can also use, is hit the tab key if you're on the PC or got a keyboard and mouse. If you hit tab twice, then tab twice again, then tab twice again, then you have your second set of coordinates as well. And if you did decide to just write the coordinates out manually, you can write them here instead. So it's /fill, and then followed by your first set of coordinates and your second set of coordinates. Then you need to choose a block that you want to fill it with. So in this case, I've gone for cobblestone. And then you have the option for a block state, which we'll get onto later on the video, but for now, just leave that blank. Now, where I've put cobblestone, you will need to put whatever block you want to fill it with. Make sure it is the actual block ID for the block that you want, otherwise this won't work. I forgot to mention, but to be able to see the previously sent message in chat, go into your chat, press the up arrow key or up key on your controller. I believe if you're on Pocket Edition, this might not work, and instead you might have to go ahead and you might have to download a third-party keyboard to be able to get this functionality, and then have a keyboard that has the arrow keys on it, and then this should work for you with that. But what if you don't know the exact coordinates you want to use? Well, don't worry, you can use relative coordinates. Go into your chat, type /fill, and then you can type the tilde. So if you type tilde, like so, which is this symbol, and then you want to type the relative coordinates you want. This is the coordinates compared to where you are. So to keep it simple, I'm going to have tilde, tilde, tilde. You can have numbers here as well. Then in the second half, I'm going to go tilde 10, and I'm going to go tilde -5, and I'm going to go tilde 10, and then I'm going to go ahead and put dirt. So then if I go ahead and I press whichever button is send messages in the chat, in this case enter, then as you can see, it's made this dirt area here. And this can be very useful for a number of different reasons. For example, you can make command blocks that if you place down, it will destroy all the blocks around it, or change blocks to a different block. Now we're on to the more advanced fill functionality. So this is fill replace. If you want to replace blocks within inside of an area, but you don't want to replace other blocks, you can do that. So I'm going to change this cobblestone here into pink concrete. So if I hit this button, it will change into the pink concrete. And this is the command for that right here. So it's just simply the same as the other fill command. So it's just /fill, and then coordinates, your first set, your second set of coordinates, and then pink_concrete. And then replace, and then cobblestone, because that's a block I wanted to replace. And as you can see, it has kept the quartz and the other blocks around here and just replaced the cobblestone with the concrete. This is then fill keep. So as you can see, there's blocks here, and what if I wanted to keep these blocks, but I wanted to fill the other area? Well, you can do that. So if I hit this button, this turns into glass, but then the blocks inside of the glass still exist. And this is just the fill command, the block, and then the word keep to be able to do this. And you don't have to have glass. I just chose to have glass so you can still see through it. Next is fill destroy. So if you want to destroy land, as you can see right here, there's a little mountain. You can simply go ahead and hit this button, and it will destroy the land, and it will drop all the blocks as well. So all of the blocks that were in this fill area have been destroyed, and I can pick all of these blocks up. And this, again, is just simply the fill command, and then it is the coordinates, it's the block, and then it is just a word destroy. Next is fill outline. Now this will fill the area around the area you've selected, but it will keep whatever is inside. And if I hit this button, as you can see, that is what it does. So it filled this area with amethyst, but inside here is still the blocks that were inside here. And then this is the command right here. It's basically the same as the others. It just has the word outline at the end like so. And finally, for the basic fill command functions, this is fill hollow. So if I hit this button right here, it will fill the area just like the outline did, but it will remove any blocks that were inside of the area as well. Not that there were any, but if there were any, it would have removed it and made the area hollow. One of the most common errors with the fill command is this. It says too many blocks in specified area. And this is if you have too many blocks in your specified area for your Minecraft fill command, as there is unfortunately a limit, but you can get around this by using the execute command, combining that with the fill command, and then you will be able to make it to wherever you walk. It will fill automatically for you. I've got a tutorial for that on the channel if you want to check it out. The other error you will see sometimes with the fill command is cannot place blocks outside of the world. This is often because you're placing blocks too far down into the void or above world height limits. However, it is sometimes also because the area is not in the world simulation distance and is not loaded. So to be able to fix that, back out of your world and go to the main menu screen. Hit the pencil icon next to your world like so, and then scroll down until you see simulation distance and make sure this is enabled all the way to the top. And that should fix that issue if it's occurring for you. If it's not, then what I'd recommend you do is simply fly up a bit, make sure you have the whole build that you're trying to fill in view, and then run the command again, as then it should work for you. As sometimes, if it's not in your view for some reason, it's a bit buggy and doesn't always fill. Now, the fill command does have more advanced stuff, which I'll get into later on in the video, but first of all, we'll go through the set block command. So this is the basic set block command. If I hit this button right here, it will set the block here. And as you can see, this is the set block command syntax. So the command is /setblock and then followed by your coordinates. You only need one set of coordinates for this, as it is a singular block. And then this is the cyan glazed terracotta, which is the block I chose, but you can put whatever block you want to. And then the set block command also has its own features as well, starting with destroy. So if I hit this button right here, it will destroy the existing block, it will drop it on the ground and I can pick it up, and then it will replace it with this crying obsidian, as that is the block that I chose to use. And that's the command for that right there. Now, of course, for any of these set block commands, so including the basic set block, for destroy, and then the keep and the replace once we get there, then you will need to make sure you have your own coordinates for this, which you can get by simply doing the block position with the copy coordinate UI, or writing down the coordinates, or using the tab functionality, the same as what I showed for the fill commands. Next is the keep functionality of the set block command. So if I hit this button right here, it won't do anything because there's already a block there. And this basically means that it will not replace the block if there is already a block there. But if I remove the block, if I hit this button, it will then fill the block with this deep slate emerald because there was no longer a block there. And this is the command for that right here. And then finally for set block is set block replace. Now, this is the same as the normal set block functionality. So you might be thinking, why have you included it? Well, it's because some people get confused and it's not always the most clear what this is. Despite it being the same, for some reason it has its own option for replace that you can add to the end of the set block command. So what I've decided to do here is I've decided to showcase this working with relative coordinates. So instead of having exact coordinates here, this is relative coordinates. If I hit this button, it will fill with a beacon. Even though I didn't put the exact coordinates, I used the relative coordinates from where the command block is to where the block I wanted to set block is. Both the fill command and the set block command can use Blockstates, as well as the execute if block and the test for block. So this is a block state. If I go into this block here, you can see it is a set block command. I've used all of these as set block examples, but as you can see at the end of the command, it has this area with brackets and then also with the speech marks. And this is a block state. So in this case, this is to make the stair go upside down. So if I set the block, it will set the stair to be upside down. And then this is the same thing, but for a rotation of the stair as well. Now, there is a bunch of different block states. This is just an example. You can change the number at the end of these commands to be able to make them go in a different direction as well. But as you can see, that works. And then you can also combine block states as well. So this command here will make it so that the stair is upside down and is also facing in a direction as well. Now, that is just for stairs. There is a ton of these, and I'm not going to be able to go through every single block state in this video for every single block. But if you would like to see a video where I go through more information about block states, let me know in the comments and like this video, and maybe I'll do one in the future. But here's a few interesting block states that I managed to find. So as you can see see right here, this cauldron is filled up to a certain level. You can do that with Blockstates. And then you can also do this right here, which is setting a sponge to be a wet sponge or a dry sponge. So in this case, I went for a wet sponge, but you can also make it a dry sponge if you want to. And then here is a cake that is eaten. You can change the amount of the cake that is eaten by changing the number once again that you have. And then here is a crop, which is partly grown. So as you can see, you can change the different strength of how much you want the crop to be grown. In this case, I went for wheat, but this would also work for carrot or any other drop. You can also change the redstone signal if you want to for a redstone component. And then finally, the main feature of this was actually to be able to originally use it for blocks. So to begin with, when this feature was first added, concrete and planks and different wood blocks didn't have their own unique wood types. Instead, you'd have to use block states. Now, most of the items and blocks in the game, such as planks, such as wood, such as concrete, have their own block types, but you can still use the block states if you want to. So in this example here, this is a polished diorite block. And as you can see, if I hit this button, it will set it to it. And this is using a block state. So if I go into the command block right here, as you can see, that's the block state and the setblock command for being able to set it to polished diorite, or smooth diorite is the actual name of the block state. You can do that for granite, andesite, or any other of the blocks as well. And some blocks might not have their own complete blocks yet, so you will still have to use the block states until they are added. If you found this video useful, then I have a playlist on screen that goes through Worldedit for Minecraft Bedrock Edition. It's a bunch of commands that will allow you to do Worldedit using the fill command, setblock command, and other commands with more advanced functionality. Check out the playlist. I'll see you over there right now.